Hi again, everybody. It's Rob Kennedy here to talk a little bit of recruiting, a little different this week. I wanted to share a story. I get a decent amount of emails and phone calls from people, especially this time of the year, where they start getting a little panicky. You know, my son or daughter doesn't have an offer. We don't know what school they're going to. I wish more people were recruiting. And, you know, the season's winding down, and all of a sudden you start getting a little antsy. You want things done. And I wanted to share this story. I was doing a game the other day for ESPN at Monmouth. It was a terrific game, went overtime. St. Peter's put up a terrific fight, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. It was a post-game ceremony. Justin Robinson, the terrific senior guard for Monmouth, last year's MAC Player of the Year, certainly an odds-on favorite to repeat that this year. He became the all-time leading scorer at Monmouth the game before, up at Marist, and went past Al Blackwell and John Giraldo, who held the Division I record at Monmouth for a number of years, amazingly enough tied for that. But in the post-game ceremony, which in and of itself was interesting because they didn't do it before the game, they did it post-game. Luckily for the Monmouth faithful, they came back and won an overtime game, or the ceremony might not have been as celebratory as it ended up being. But they had Al Blackwell and John Giraldo, all those guys there. And it was a terrific thing, and you really felt good. It was one of those feel-good moments of Division I basketball, right? And afterwards, after King Rice spoke and thanked everybody, and Alex Blackwell and John Giraldo were there, Ron Cornegay, who's the all-time leading scorer in school history, was there as well. They had a really nice ceremony. And when Justin Robinson grabbed the mic, he was tremendous. You could see the emotion that he had to his family, brought out his mom, his dad, his grandma, hugs, kisses, crying. When he brought his younger brother out, that's when he really lost it. But he started to tell the story when he was thanking King Rice that he said, you know what, I wasn't under-recruited, I was not recruited. Here's a guy coming out of high school who didn't have any offers, Division I, Division II. He was basically planning on going to prep school because he thought in his heart that he was better than everybody thought he was. But, he's a smaller guy, he's a little bit skinny, he didn't fit the prototypical profile of what maybe people were looking for. But he said what he did is he didn't get down. His season ended. He had nothing going on. But he went out and he played on the AAU circuit in the spring, where a lot of seniors stopped doing that. He went out and he played at the Hoop Group Jam Fest, and he was telling the story how King Rice came, saw him play, and all of a sudden they started recruiting him. Okay? And that was his only Division I offer. And here's a guy who's been the MAC Player of the Year, led Monmouth to unprecedented heights, was the MVP last year down in Orlando at the Avocare preseason classic, set the all-time scoring record there with wins against Notre Dame, great game against Dayton. I mean, this is a guy who is an incredibly accomplished player at a high level of Division I basketball who had nobody recruiting him. But he didn't panic, he just went. And you just never know when that one person's going to come see you play and like you and start recruiting you. So I think it's a great example of breathe, don't panic, and you got to keep staying with it. You can't give up, and you just got to put yourself in every possible position that you can for that moment to come where somebody, like in this case King Rice, got a chance to see Justin Robinson. Again, if you've got any questions, comments, please email me at robk@hoopgroup.com.